Welcome in, everyone. Cory McCartney here with you, joined by PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber. Phil, good to see you.
Nice to be on, Cory.
Absolutely. Now, the PBR Georgia Top Prospect Games, Underclass Games were held this week at Lake Point Sports. The first time those fields have seen competitive action in months. I want to start out with the upperclassmen in the Top Prospect Games. Give me two players who really stood out for you among that group.
Well, when you look at the top prospect group, you really have to start with Glenn Green. He's a right-handed pitcher, third baseman out of Sandy Creek. We've seen him a couple times before. He's been a regular at some of our events and just an electric arm. In the spring season, he was up to 95. Yesterday, he was sitting 89, 91, touching 92. But what really sets him apart outside the elite velocity he has is his breaking ball. He's got just a wipeout breaking ball that gets swing and misses from just about any caliber of player. And then when he comes to bat, I was lucky enough to be on his field during BP, and boy, he put on a show. I mean, he was putting balls over onto the walk-in over by the entrance, and it was just an incredible display of power. And the arm strength obviously is there when he's at third base, given how hard he's throwing on the mound, and just a really good two-way athlete. And then another guy who he wasn't even supposed to pitch, but we were in need of an extra pitcher. Hudson Mimbs out of First Presbyterian signed up as a shortstop, was just going to play shortstop. We asked him if he wanted to go throw an inning, hops on the mound and is 88, 89, and just really, blew us away with that. We weren't expecting that. We're like, hey, we'll put a position player out there and let's see what happens. And he goes out there and just really pitched very well. And I'm sure that's going to help him out a lot down the road, given now that he has two-way capabilities.
Changing the focus to the underclass games, who really made an impression for you out of this group?
Now, the underclass group was an extremely talented group. A lot of guys, I think there were 110 underclassmen that came, and just the talent across the board was incredible. I have to start with left-handed pitcher Dawson Coe out of Loganville. We saw Dawson at our winter event. He was 84, 85. Comes out and is 87, 89, touching 90, which I wasn't expecting that velo increase, but it was there, and he was throwing strikes. And then even more impressive was he's now developed two breaking balls. Before, he was just throwing a sweeping curveball. Now he's throwing a slider that's acting more like a cut fastball at 82 while still bringing that sweeping curveball in at 73. With all three of those pitches, he's got a very, very bright future. And he's also done a lot of work to clean up his mechanics and is much more fundamentally sound now. So he is just skyrocketing upwards. Another guy, first time we got to see him at a showcase, Casual K, the Hall of Fame name right there. Third baseman. We'd seen him in the fall at one of the tournaments, and he just swung it very well from the right side. Comes yesterday using wood bat the entire time during BP. I think he took one or two balls out of the park, and then was just one hop in the fence. And then, some guys do very well in BP, come to gameplay, and it's a different story. He hops in there during game, and we didn't have any cupcake pitching. He just unloaded on a ball and one hopped it over the fence for a double. It was probably the hardest hit ball that I saw on my field during gameplay. It was a really impressive showing for him. And he's an enormous kid. He's listed at 6'2", 190, but I would venture to say he's close to 6'3". He might even be 6'4", 200 pounds at this point. Just packing a lot of power and strength in that frame.
Yeah, I was on hand for K's double. That kid can absolutely rake. You can find Phil on Twitter at Phil Kerber PBR. Get everything from the PBR Georgia crew at PBR Georgia on Twitter. And make sure you watch all the top prospect games and underclass games on Lake Point Live. For more information, go to lakepointsports.com/playsite. Phil, thanks for the time.
Thanks for having me on, Cory.